What's up, guys? We're back. So I'm finally eating avocados again. And you guys may be saying, what? You're not eating avocados? Um, Avocados are great. But I decided to do a sardine challenge. It's a 72-hour sardine challenge that's supposed to kind of help your metabolism just to see what would happen. One of the toughest things was I had avocados that were ready to eat, and I was just looking at it but couldn't really eat it because I was on my challenge and I was trying to be very disciplined. So that was one of the challenges is, when you're doing these things, you're going to get tempted. This right here is a Gwen, and I really like how, for me, I can just sit here and eat entire Gwen kind of like this. I have another Gwen that's ready to go. I'll probably end up eating half of it or something like that also. But it's easy to scoop. The skin's on the thicker side. It's more brittle. You can see it kind of just breaks. Some of the other varieties is more rubbery and it doesn't break that easy. But this is very scoopable. The flesh is on the dense side and it tastes really good. So I can really it's good. So I'm just chilling here, checking out things. I guess the kiddos are sick, so it is what it is. So I really wanted to show you guys some of my grafts and how they're doing. So let me show you that. So here's my Oaklando again, and this is the one that really took. And it's gonna be hot today, so I'm spraying this guy down with Surround WP. So essentially, this is kind of what I do. It's very simple. You just mix Surround in one of these spray bottles, you pump it up. You can get this at the Home Depot, and you just spray it. And what happens is it may not look like it's going to turn white right away. That's because the water's still on there, but once the water evaporates, the whole leaf ends up being white. So this is good for like new growth like this. If you wanted to protect it a little bit, you can just spray it down like that. I'm going to see if I can get the whole thing. So I'll come back and show you the kind of the results of what the spray will look like in about 5 minutes or so. Also, this is my Maluma and the new growth, which is very tender. So that's why I'm going to be spraying this guy down. So here it is, the Surround WP. So all I do is I have a little funnel that I made. I pour it into this bottle. I mix it with water, shake it up, pump it up, and it's ready to go. Then you can start spraying. All right, so a couple minutes later, you can see the leaves are it's dry now, and it just coated like the leaf, that white stuff. So it's essentially just a clay product. Let me show you the Oaklando. So you can see all of these leaves, I sprayed this. This is all new growth on the Mexicola. Oaklando, still a little wet, and once it dries out, it's gonna look like that. So that's what we got to do. Instead of shading this whole tree, which is going to be hard to do, I decided to just do the Surround WP just on the critical, especially the new growth and this little baby scion. All right, so on to the grafts. So I have, this is called a second red, and this one took. You can see where the graft is, which is down here. And this is kind of what it's looking like right now. So this one's doing really well. I also have this guy that took. This is called the Bay Giant, and it's doing pretty good. I need to probably up pot this and also the second red pretty soon. So here's another one that took. This is called Oaklando. And Oaklando, what I did was I had 2 seeds in this pot. They both were growing. So I cut it and I grafted it here and I grafted it here. And this one took. And this one took. And then some raccoon actually came over and knocked this pot over. And I kind of propped it back up. And then a couple days later, I noticed that my graft was not doing too well. It was probably about a week later, it was starting to die. I'm like, oh, great. So something to note, you got to be extra careful, especially with grafts and the graft union. While the graft is on and it's taking, that doesn't mean that you got to play around with it or do anything like that. So I found myself sometimes kind of digging in there, and I shouldn't. And now anytime I graft anything, I just leave it alone, don't touch it. But essentially, we do have one Oaklando that took. This is what it looks like right now. So good times. And of course, not all of the grafts are successful. Like this one was successful, and then it, the raccoon knocked it over, and then the rubber band that I had here actually came off, and then I think that's what dislodged this graft. So at this point, what I'll end up doing is taking this out, separating this, and repotting this to something bigger. This guy, I don't know, I'll probably just cut it and throw it away. No big deal. We got lots of seeds all over the place. But this seems to be pretty vigorous. Even though this graft didn't take, new stuff's coming out already. As you can see, when I grafted this, it didn't have any of this here. So not everything is successful. I have another second red. This was starting to take, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. So that's what happens, right? And then also I have this guy, which is a bay giant. This one never took at all. So I have another second red, which is right there, and this one took, and then it got hot, and then that part died back. This part's still green, so I'm just holding on, and it looks like, if I'm lucky, right, well, let's see if I can zoom in here. Actually, those buds look kind of dark. I thought this bud right there would kind of take off, but this section's looking brown right here. So who knows? This section's still a little green here, so might have a chance. Just holding on for now. We'll see. I doubt it though. I'll keep you guys updated. I guess still learning how to graft and do a better job at it, of course. But I do have, in this area, I have a Nimlio and I have a Malama right here. So Malama, I'm just kind of keeping it here because it's shady. Nimlio, I need to really up-pot this because it's still in the sleeve. But my plan is to up-pot it and keep it in a pot for a little longer before I actually put it into the ground. But I do plan on putting this into the ground because it's a variety that I've been hunting for a long time. And I finally got it, so. Hopefully you guys are doing good. It's going to be a hot one today, at least 100 degrees for me. So just double check your irrigation and stay hydrated. All right, talk to you guys later. See ya.